Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here, another edition of Off the Top Rope. A lot of conversation has been out there about women's wrestling in general, and I've done a lot of that discussion here on this channel. Um, Listen, okay, so we know who the champions are in WWE. We know who they are in AEW. Um, and obviously, for TNA, I have a lot of respect for Masha Slamovich. She's had a great run, and everybody's just thanking the Lord that she beat Tessa Blanchard at Rebellion out here in Los Angeles over the weekend. Um, but specifically focusing on WWE, um, Io Sky's awesome, and Tiffany Stratton looks like one of the future faces of this division too. But we need to really just hammer this point home that Stephanie Vaquer is the I think she is the future face of this division. And honest to God, she could rise to the level of where Rhea Ripley is right now. Because Rhea Ripley gets insane reactions. Like Stephanie Vaquer, in just a short amount of time, she showed up in October, like the second, like she showed physically up. Like she had a little post video package at the end of the USA run of NXT, but she showed up the second, episode of NXT on the CW. And this woman was supposed to be the secondary piece to the massive haul from New Japan and from the international stars that they brought in between her and Julia. And you want to know how valuable this woman is? They had to turn Julia, who won the NXT title, heel and have her beat Julia. If that doesn't tell you what WWE thinks of this woman, you are out of your goddamn mind. Like, I didn't know if there was going to ever be a possibility of somebody matching up to Rhea Ripley. But whenever we do get that match, holy mackerel. Because also you got the guys who are sickos because Stephanie is very attractive. And also she's just an outstanding performer. She's a great wrestler. So the appeal is there on so many different fronts. Everybody looks into Rhea. Like, obviously the look is different and everything. Stephanie has got a different vibe to her too. And, just seeing the fact that she has appeared on now back-to-back episodes of Monday Night Raw and had matches with the world champion Io Sky. And she had a pretty damn good match with an up-and-coming talent in Ivy Nile. Like, this is just, it's astounding to me, the rise of this woman since last October. We're 6 months into this thing. We're 6 months into this thing. Like, this is bananas that it has got. Like, she's getting insane reactions. She's showing up in the full arenas. Like, it's amazing what has happened here. And to think at this time last year, a lot of people inside of North America had no idea who this woman was. And it took one match and one feud with Mercedes Mone at Forbidden Door, where this change, in my eyes, we're going to look back on this. If Stephanie continues to be on the trajectory that she is on, we're going to look back at Forbidden Door 2024 and that match and think that maybe that might have changed the course of women's wrestling. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that, because think about this. Nobody knew, realistically, unless you were an avid sicko who watched New Japan or CMLL or had, in-depth knowledge of Stephanie Vaquer's career, you had no idea who this woman was. And she has come in and just taken the wrestling world, the internet, whatever, by storm. She was in the Royal Rumble. Like, she's been she's the first woman to hold the NXT Women and North American Champions. Like, guys, I take it from me, based off everything. Like, I knew more about Julia than I knew about Stephanie Vaquer, just from being, on the internet and, like, knowing things about, like, the independent wrestling scene, obviously, like, the stuff overseas. So when I heard that both of these women were going to come over, I was like, yeah, Julia is going to be like one of the faces of this thing because she's got the appeal. She's got the international background. And it took just a few months to change the plan, because that was clearly what WWE was thinking. Everybody's like, oh, Stephanie's going to turn heel. And, Julia's going to be, the big baby face. They reversed course on that plan. Stephanie is now the NXT Women's Champion, the best women's division in all of professional wrestling, in my opinion. And now, over the course of WrestleMania weekend, she retained against 3 unbelievable talents in the ring. She then proceeded to face Io Sky on Monday Night Raw. She then defended it against Roxanne Perez, and then she comes back and has another match on Monday Night Raw. And now My guess is it's only a matter of time before she's going to be on the main roster. It's only a matter of time. Like, and I've just been thinking about this because like everybody's been talking about who's the face of this division. Because it seems like Becky Lynch has come back and she's going to make Lyra Valkyria into a star, and Lyra's done a really good job in her limited time on the main roster. Tiffany Stratton obviously getting the big win over Charlotte. Tiffany still has a ton of room to grow, and obviously Tiffany's got the star appeal in her own right. But Stephanie has got the star appeal, and also she is she might be the best wrestler in the entire company. Like, I saw a video clip of her match with Roxanne Perez where there was a whole sequence where she nailed every single move in like a 6-move sequence. Every single spot was flawless. Like, this is insanity. Like, this basically, she is what, and one thing that I will always go to bat for is Sasha Banks was the best wrestler in the women's division when she was in WWE. And it's almost like Stephanie Vaquer came in and really took her place. And what's ironic is her star-making moment was against the former Sasha Banks. And again, like I said, we're going to look back on that match at Forbidden Door. If this continues to go and the momentum keeps going, first of all, Stephanie's going to be a women's champion on the main roster sooner rather than later. And she's going to be as big of a star. And you're already seeing just how popular she is. And this is like, we're going to look at that moment and be like, holy shit. And then Tony Khan let her get away because, well, let's be real. Tony Khan didn't really let her get away. Stephanie wanted to go to WWE. And this is just the perfect storm of a lot of different things working together. And she is just, like I said, just so many things are working in her direction. And again, it's just that one moment at Forbidden Door. We had no idea who she was 9 months ago. No idea. And here she is, maybe the most popular woman on the entire roster. NXT, whatever. And again, like I said, the other thing that makes her stand out amongst, and I'm not trying to diminish some of the wrestling ability. Tiffany's got a long way to go. Rhea's great. Io's fantastic as well. But Stephanie is one of the best there is in the ring. And then obviously the look and the appeal and everything, like, across male and female, like it's just, the gimmick itself is very interesting, being the Dark Angel, La Primera. Like it's amazing to see the progression and what's been done, in just a short amount of time. And obviously, some people will snicker at the whole AAA partnership. That's only going to enhance, the Latino interest in this product as well. They've been searching for a Latin American star. And obviously, you get Penta and you get Phoenix in there. Like Rey Mysterio at some point is going to retire, and he's been carrying the flag of Latin American culture in this company. Stephanie Vaquer is like the female version of Rey Mysterio and like all these other people just being wildly popular. So I'm excited about this, man. Like it's really wild to consider where things were about a calendar year ago. Everybody was excited about Mercedes going to AEW. And then she has her run. She gets her championship. She beats Willow. And then we have this Forbidden Door match. And I had heard about this woman who I've never, Stephanie Vaquer. And then all of a sudden she outshined Mercedes, goes to the other place where Mercedes ran roughshod and, in some cases ran away from because she didn't like the way she was being booked, and more power to her. And she's gone in there and just taken the ball and ran with it. It's unbelievable. It really is. So, as far as I'm concerned, this women's division in the next handful of years runs through Stephanie Vaquer. Anyway, I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.